Hello, hello, and happy Thursday. This was not the time I had actually planned to be online today or go live, but here I am. And so, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was starting over. And for those who don't know me, hi, my name is Erica Trinette Young, and I am a trauma professional, mindset, and trauma coach. And I wanted to talk about starting over because I think it's something that does not get talked about enough when it comes to life. And a lot of times we are trying to figure out what does it mean to start over. And it's not just limited to starting over in a business, starting over in relationships, starting over in different aspects. Even when it comes to our healing journey, we can get to a place where we are working on it, but it's not going the way we want it to. So then we have to start the process over. We have to try again. And the thing is, it's okay to start over. There should not be so much fear attached to starting over. And I think sometimes we're afraid to start over because we don't know what it'll look like. And even when we are uncomfortable in where we are in our current situations, we know what it feels like. We know what to expect. So sometimes we'll stay in uncomfortable situations to avoid starting over. But for me, I know that there have been times in the past, like I've started businesses, I've been in careers, I've had career changes, I've had, different businesses. And sometimes starting over was terrifying. It was the unknown. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was coming next. But I also knew that staying in those current situations was not helping me. And so sometimes you have to start over. You have to be okay with trying something different. And one of the things that I have learned is that if starting over means you get to walk in purpose, it's so worth it. Because what you don't want to do is stay in a situation where you are not willing to start over, but you're also miserable. And you think about it, you're comfortable in discomfort and you're comfortable in misery because it's paying your bills, or because at least you know that someone's there, or because at least I know how to do this thing, but that's not helping you. And so one of the things that I like to think about is, what am I missing out on by not starting over? What am I missing out on by staying stagnant, by staying in this situation, by staying in this circumstance? And when you start to think about it, maybe even do pros and cons lists. Some people still do that. And you look at what is it costing me to stay the same? What is it costing me when I don't change? What is it costing me when I don't get the help that I need? And I think that's another thing when it comes to starting over, is that we don't want to ask for help sometimes. Sometimes there's this thing of, I should be strong enough. I should know how to do this on my own. I shouldn't need any help from anyone. But the truth of the matter is, we were never meant to do this life alone. So even in starting over, it's okay to have support. It's okay to have help. It's okay to let someone journey with you. And so when you think about starting over, think about what you're gaining in the starting over process, the purpose that's coming, the clarity that's coming. Because if there's something deep on the inside of you and you know that you need to start over, there's a reason for it. There's a purpose. And typically there's something greater on the other side of that starting over. So I encourage you, if you are in that space of trying to figure out what to do next, do I stay where I am, even though I feel stuck, but I'm comfortable in discomfort, or do I risk it, start over, and really walk in what God has called me to, really open up to the relationships, to the careers, to the businesses, to the people that God has called me to. Yes, it may be scary. Yes, it may look different. Yes, it may be uncomfortable, but it could be one of the very best things that happens to you and happens for you. So I encourage you, do not be afraid of starting over. Do not be afraid of change, because change, though it can be scary, though it can seem different, can be beautiful, because we are all changing. We're constantly changing. We don't stay the same. You're not the same that you were 5 years ago. You're not the same that you were a year ago. Something has changed. And so when it comes to business, when it comes to careers, relationships, friendships, it's okay to change if that change means better, if that change means purpose, if that change means authenticity. So I encourage you, be open to change. I'm not saying you have to jump into it immediately. It's okay to think it out, to consider the process, to consider what it'll look like, but don't allow fear to stop you from changing, to stop you from starting over. Because in that starting over, you may just find the very thing that you've been missing, the very thing that will get you to that next step, that next level in your life. So I hope that you are encouraged today, that you know that it is okay if you have to start over, if you have to make a change, and that something good is on the other side of that. Be blessed, and I'll be on next time.